Hey Zach, it's the first time we've talked to you since the surgery that you had. I know it wasn't necessarily specific injury related; it was a little bit more complicated than that. Can you tell us a little bit about the decision to have the surgery and how the recovery's going, and just sort of how you've reacted to all that?
The timing was unfortunate, but it was something I just needed to get done. That's kind of how I approached it. That's how I've taken it. I've worked all summer to try to get my way back as quick as possible.
I remember, Zach, when we spoke to you, I think at exit interviews, you talked a lot about that, like being stronger next season and things like that. Have you still been able to, make the progress in that area? I mean, I know the injury probably sidelined you a little bit, but how have you been able to, or attempt to try to, get stronger and hit those benchmarks that you aimed on hitting before this season?
Yeah, that's, I think, the one thing that I've really been able to focus on this season. With my ankle, it wasn't limiting too much what I could do in the weight room. So I've really been able to kind of focus and lock in on just my strength.
Are you happy with the progress like you made in that area?
Yeah, I am. It's been a good summer for that.
Zach, right here in the back. We talked at exit interviews about all the different areas of your game that you want to work on, and I imagine obviously having the surgery probably stunted some of that. How has that made you kind of recalibrate how you work going into the season, and maybe by limiting it down to what you can work on before you actually get back out there?
Yeah, on the court, I've been pretty limited in that regard. I haven't been able to work on some things I wanted to, but in the weight room, I've been pretty good. It's been a good summer for me in the weight room. I think that's kind of the major strides I've taken.
Mike?
Zach, we all remember how you finished the season and the productive level that you played at, finding that rhythm. How much of that are you using as a benchmark for when you get back on the court? And secondly, how important are these next couple of weeks at training camp in terms of the mental reps that you need to get?
It's big for me. It's kind of where I'm going to learn the offense. I've been watching practice, been paying attention to kind of what they're doing, but in training camp, it'll just be more reps of that, more stuff I can see. I'll be able to hopefully participate a little bit, but it's going to be good.
Pick it up, sort of setting that expectation for where you left off last year.
Yeah, that's all you want to do. You just want to keep building. You never want to take a step backward. That's kind of how I always approach it. I want to keep going, keep building. The end of the season was good for me, but I want to be better than that.
Zach, have you ever had an injury like that has a recovery period like this before?
No, never.
So have you learned anything about sort of the mentality that it takes to overcome something like that?
Yeah, it's just kind of Groundhog Day every day. I come in, I do my treatment, I do my lift, I take care of my body, and it's just wake up, do the same thing every day. It's a tedious grind, but it gives me appreciation for some of the guys that have gone through it. BC's been a big help for me in that regard. He's been talking to me. He's gone through some lengthy injuries like that, so kind of telling me, stick with it. You'll be better for it. You'll learn some things about yourself, about your body. Just trying to take it like that.
Chris?
Zach, can you just talk what went into the new ink you got this summer?
I try to get something done every summer. Figure I might as well get something bigger this summer. It's just a little progress thing, kind of what I've done so far and the steps where I've been at and everything like that. I plan on to keep adding to it.
We saw the way your numbers ticked up at the end of last season after Tomas took over. Do you think that, and I know you haven't had as much time on court this summer, but with what you've learned and him being able to implement that system even more, that there's more runway out there for you to grow and thrive in the system even more than you did at the end of last season?
Yeah, for sure. We didn't, when Tomas took over last season, we didn't really have practices with him. We were kind of learning on the fly. We were making up as we went a little bit. I think just like you said, with some time to figure it out and really hone in on the little details of the stuff he's teaching, it's just going to take off more.
John?
Kind of off that, just what have the conversations been like with you and Tomas and the rest of the coaching staff about what they want your role to be moving forward?
Just kind of what I do. Set ball screens, roll, get rebounds, play in the paint, play down low. He kind of wants me to just be who I am.
Travis?
Hey,
Looking back on your rookie season, was there anything that surprised you about the NBA or about how you were able to pick things up as it went along, or just what was your recollection of yourself and the way you performed in your first year?
I think the speed, you kind of see on TV, you see the speed and the strength, but you don't really kind of feel it till you're there. So I think that kind of was the big adjustment for me. But like I said, going through the season, just kind of trying to keep building every game, get used to every game, and just keep going forward.
Any other questions? Yeah, thanks, Zach.
Thank you.